Good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Wednesday, April 12th. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks for spending some of your morning here. Coming up, the topics we're touching on today, why it is important for you as a parent to take a little bit of you time. After that, find out about Hike-A-Thon 2023, which is happening right now, what this is and why you're being encouraged to get outdoors. We'll have that in a few minutes. And then after that, we talk about a recent brain health seminar, what attendees got from the seminar and how you can find the next one being hosted. But first, let's get a check of our headlines. The Cheatham County Commission voted unanimously to provide additional law enforcement services to Pegram. This is one way to address drugs, burglary, theft, and traffic issues. Read more by going to the Cheatham County Exchange.com. And the Tennessee College of Applied Science and Technology, or TCAT in Springfield, was recently awarded a $1 million Governor's Investment in Vocational Education 2.0 grant to upgrade the facilities for new training opportunities. Read about those opportunities by visiting RobertsonCountyConnection.com. And then from the look of these pictures, the annual Wilson Books from Birth Imagination Library dinner at the Farm Bureau Expo Center was both a lot of fun and successful. This event is the annual fundraiser for Wilson Books from Birth, which is the Wilson County branch of the Imagination Library. Since 2005, the Imagination Library program has delivered more than 21,000 children in Wilson County books. Would you like to get your child in on this to receive books from birth? Well, you can do that. Get all of the information by going to thechronicleofmountjuliet.com. Let's get a check of our forecast now with our friends over at Tennessee Valley Weather.
Hey folks, happy Wednesday to you and thank you for stopping by Tennessee Valley Weather. I'm Ben Luna here in the Weather Center wishing you a happy hump day as you watch your local weather. All right, across the mid-state region today, we're looking again pretty good. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures plumb near perfect to be out and about, all thanks to this ridge of high pressure now working along the Carolina coast. Notice that big old mess of clouds down to the Gulf. Well, that's an area of low pressure that's going to be heading our way over the course of the next 24 hours and ultimately will be providing us with more cloud coverage and a few sprinkles as we head through tomorrow. Here's a look at Futurecast through today. Yeah, nothing going on. It's going to be a picture perfect Wednesday. However, as we look ahead into tomorrow, notice more clouds working from the south to the north across the region, and ultimately a few scattered showers will be with us into the later morning and early afternoon hours of Thursday. Again, nothing severe, just a few little areas of rainfall for tomorrow and maybe some leftover moisture on Friday. So we'll maintain a chance for a few showers to close the work week. Now, watch Saturday into early Sunday. We've got another system that's going to be crossing over the region. This could provide a few thunderstorms, something that may try to trend on the more rocky side. We'll keep eyes on that for you. We'll let you know. And then we'll clear as we head through Sunday. Cool down just a smidge, back in the upper 60s there by Monday. That is a look at your forecast for today. I'll leave you with a final look at the 7-day. I hope you have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you soon.
Tennessee Valley Weather was brought to you by Fred's Flooring. The Main Street Awards voting in Rutherford County is happening now. Don't forget to go vote for Fred's Flooring. Go check out their products at 490 St. Andrews Drive, Suite 105 in Murfreesboro, or give them a call at 615-645-3565.
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. We are with the lovely ladies behind Hike. My name is Mom. We have Corey, Jen, and Kayla back with us. And our topic today, because I just want to plunge right into this one, how to make you a priority as a mom and why you need to give yourself that little bit of you time. First off, ladies, thank you for touching on this topic.
Oh my gosh, this is a topic we talk about a lot. It's really important. One of the biggest things that we talked about when we first launched our podcast, almost 4 years ago, was the identity crisis that happens when you become a mom. It's like you feel almost like you have to leave behind all of these other things about yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And we had a guest recently who said, she's like, my one big piece of advice for people who are having kids is your old life is dead. It's gone.
Your life is over, is what you said.
Yes, as sad as that is.
That's like a slap in the face, I feel like.
It is a little bit, but you know what? It's almost like a challenge too, a way of like reinventing yourself. It's like, how can I be Jen Meyer Culp, wife, mom, human being, mm-hmm. and kind of wear all of those hats all at the same time. And as we say, sometimes never in the same order, but they're all very important. And I balance all three of them every day. I touch each part of my life every day, but it's not always the same. You know, you don't have the same priorities that you did before you had children. And so carving out me time, whether it's, you know, a glass of wine at the end of the day with your husband, or a, you know, bubble bath, which is sort of my floating office, if you will. Those things are they're really important for your mental health.
Or wine with Stefanie. With these wonderful little stimulus glasses here with "Hi, my name is Mom" on it. So you need to carve it out. But what about, so for those out there who keep saying, I don't have the time to do that. Like, I have a job, and as I'm throwing this out there, you have, you know, entrepreneurs here. You all are career women. Yeah. Moms, wives, friends. Like, how does...
You have to find 10 minutes, even if it comes out of your sleep time.
I think it's kind of like working out. Yep. You say you don't have time for it, but you feel better when you do it.
And once you do it, you want to do it more.
Well, and
that's kind of dangerous, actually.
Yeah. Well, and you really do have to schedule more when you have kids. I'm not a scheduler by nature. My husband and I, one of the things that drew us together when we first met is we're both very spontaneous. We don't like to plan ahead. But the more children we've had, the more we have to schedule. So sometimes it seems like it takes a little bit of the fun out of it to have to schedule it. And sometimes when it comes time for the thing you've planned, you don't feel like doing it. You're like, why did I do this? I planned drinks, but now I don't feel like getting out of my yoga pants. But you have to just do it. Yeah. Because once you're there, I can't tell you how many times I have planned a lunch with a girlfriend and then gone, I want to cancel. But when I've shown up anyway, I realize how good for me it was. So it's almost like the medicine that you need, the workout that you need, that you're never going to regret. Because keeping those moments for yourself are as invaluable as feeding yourself, as sleep, as getting to the gym so that you have the right energy and you're in a healthy state for your child. You have to think of your mental health as just as important as your physical health to be a good mom.
When it comes to those times, do you guys, what do you think of therapy when it comes to talking to someone, or is friends your therapy?
Fans. I think therapy is, I'm very passionate about therapy. My husband and I have gone through a lot of grief with our journey to parenting, and therapy has definitely helped us cope with things and just kind of show up and be more present as people and as individuals. I think that if you don't have, even if you do have a support group, I think therapy, I will always be a huge advocate for it. But I think especially if you know that you don't have the type of support to talk it out, because therapy can be like the podcast for us. I think it's been very therapeutic. It's
what it started as.
And a lot of times. But I think that mental health, in that sense, and talking about your things, if you don't have a group of people to do it, if you don't have maybe the time at the end of the day to carve it out with your spouse at all times, I think carving out, even if it's like once a month, going and talking to someone, I think it's something really heavily that needs to be prioritized if you have the ability and the need to do it.
I think it's also important though to remember that like when you're in a phase of life with especially having young kids, it's all encompassing. And it really is. You have to hire a babysitter. It's like Corey is touching on, it's like there's so much planning that goes into sort of having a night out by yourself or with girlfriends or with your husband. I'm at a different point now. I have a 14-year-old who is able to stay at home with my kids, and my husband and I prioritize nights out. And that has a trickle-down effect on our family and on raising our kids that is unquantifiable. Like the difference I feel like in our relationship from 18 months ago is staggering. And it's just because we started reprioritizing ourselves as humans.
You can also outsource. You can also, you were talking about finding the time when you don't have it. And I think it's okay to let go. You know, sometimes we feel like we have to do everything. We have to be so hands-on. And maybe a babysitter or a meal prep service is not going to do it exactly like we were going to. But if you can outsource to give yourself that moment, and maybe your me time looks different. Maybe it's not like a night out with friends. Maybe it's a bath. You know, maybe it's holding your husband's hand through Target. You know, maybe it looks different. But if you can, in those moments where you feel depleted, outsource. Like, what can I call my friend who doesn't have kids and go, hey, do you want to come hang with these? You got a lot of energy. Can you go hang with them?
We got a lot of free time. Come on over.
Like, give me some. Ask for help, even though that can be the most difficult thing in the world. Let go of the guilt that sets in sometimes when you ask for the help or you don't do it yourself. Because it ultimately, like, if I don't give myself the me time, I'm melting down the next day. So how is that helping anyone?
Right. And I think me time can look different for everyone. I don't think it needs, like what you were saying, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go out and have a drink. I know for me time is I love sitting down and painting. I love I'm such an extrovert that I love to have those moments to myself where I can like kind of recharge, and that actually makes me sound like an introvert.
It does, but maybe you are. Maybe you're an introvert.
These are good reminders for us.
Yeah.
We're not always good at taking that time. I'm not always good at taking
I'm good
that
at that
time.
now. I admit
That's
that.
true.
That is my skill
I
set
will
now.
say that is,
You are goals.
Yeah,
Goals.
right now
Goals.
that is
but
my
it looks
life.
different for everyone.
It does.
Whatever that me time is, it doesn't have to be the same for everybody.
So again, it looks different for all of you, and know that and find peace with that. So this is just number 2 topic that we've hit on in our time, as we visited with Hi, My Name is Mom. What other topics do you talk about that all those watching this can, see on your podcast or hear on your podcast and see on your YouTube?
We cover such a crazy range of topics. I mean, we've talked about everything from like your boobs after baby to rediscovering your sex life with your husband after you have kids to, smelly pits after birth and, all the like really heavy topics like, how to talk to your kids about politics and religion and grief and loss and things like that. So it runs the gamut. But even in the hard moments, we laugh. Mm-hmm. And that is, I think, what has made it easier for us to tackle those topics.
Try to even those hard moments, like a little bit of hope, some levity.
Yeah.
And we almost always laugh even on the episodes.
We balance out the giggles and the tears.
But we truly talk about everything.
Yeah.
I love it. And you will too. I know you will. Check out Hi, My Name is Mom with Corey, Jen, and Kayla. It's a podcast and YouTube that you need to check in every so often with. So ladies, thank you again. I appreciate your time. It's such a blessing.
Thank
you.
To be.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel, urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back. Well, calling all hikers, trail runners, climbers if you're out there, mountain bikers, nature photographers, and any other outdoor enthusiasts. TennGreen Land Conservancy has a virtually managed fundraising event called Hike-A-Thon happening in the month of April. So this morning we have Alice Hudson Pell with us. She's the executive director of TennGreen Land Conservancy. She's here to share us not only the work they do there, but also more about the Hike-A-Thon. So good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh, you are so very welcome. But first off, go ahead and kind of share with us the work that TennGreen Land Conservancy does that we may not know.
Oh, absolutely. So TennGreen Land Conservancy is the oldest accredited statewide land conservation organization in Tennessee. We are a nonprofit entity. We partner with government agencies, but we are not a government agency. And so to that extent, we rely on the generosity of our communities to exist and to do our work. We've been around for 25 years and we've protected almost 50,000 acres of land throughout Tennessee. Some of our most famous projects that you've probably been to or heard of are Cummins Falls, Virgin Falls, land along the Fiery Gizzard Trail. We're working really hard to complete the Cumberland Trail right now to acquire all of those lands, which is going to be amazing. It's a 300-mile linear park throughout Tennessee. Let's see, we've got a gigantic project right now called Big River Park. We're partnering with Ducks Unlimited, and that is in West Memphis, Arkansas, right across from downtown Memphis. So there's a wonderful pedestrian bridge. You can walk across it, you can bike across it, and then it dumps you out into about 1,500 acres of land that we're going to work to restore from a farm into really beautiful wetlands that tell the story of the Memphis and West Tennessee area. Let's see what else. Oh, our mission. I love our mission. It is to conserve land where people and nature can thrive. So we're always looking for ways to protect not only places of really high biodiversity and where our water and our headwaters are and lands along rivers and streams, but we're also looking to establish new parks, to find ways to get everyone outside, to work on access issues, and to just make sure that as many people who want to embrace nature or feel like they don't know anything about nature, but want to give it a try can get out there, can explore the lands that we have here in Tennessee that are so beautiful, and to basically inspire as many people as we can to understand how unique and wonderful Tennessee is from a natural perspective, so that they will work to protect what we have, whether that be through, not throwing their trash out of their car, helping with pollution, to really good stewardship land practices. So it's a big organization, not a big organization. We've got a really big mission. We've been around for about 25 years, and we have done about 150 projects across the state. And this year we've got about 20 more that we're working on.
Wow.
So in a nutshell, that's TennGreen.
I love it. The work that you do, I feel, is so beautiful. Again, not only trying to provide access to all of us to get out and enjoy nature, but also protecting our wildlife, and then, all the flowers and what we can see out there. Well, talk to us, because I know there's no better way to see all of that than going for a hike. So share with us the Hike-A-Thon and what we can do in the month of April.
Absolutely. So I'm really proud of this event, which I'm sure will come across. We used to have a dinner. It was a great dinner. It was a lovely dinner. It was a $200 a ticket kind of event here in downtown Nashville. But the truth is that our members are all across the state, and they're nature lovers. And going into a conference room on a Friday night in downtown Nashville just really wasn't what they wanted. So COVID hit, and we had to pivot in a big way. And we came up with this new kind of fundraiser, the Hike-A-Thon. So the Hike-A-Thon is a virtually managed event, which you mentioned earlier. And what that means is that everyone is sort of on their own, except that they can be in a team. They can join up with a bunch of our events that we're hosting. And you go out and you paddle, or you hike, or you climb, however you really want to enjoy nature. You come back, you log your miles, and then it's this big competition. So we had about 300 people participate last year, which was our second year. Over 5,000 miles logged. We ask that everyone just get outside, get asphalt from under your ground, walk on dirt, walk or bike on dirt. That's kind of our goal. Let's see, what else is there? It's a peer-to-peer fundraiser. We do raise funds for it using this program. What that means is it's sort of like if you're going to go on a one-day race for St. Jude's, you sign up, you get your friends and your family to support you through financial donations, and then you go and you do your race. Except that this is an entire month-long competition. We also have pop-up prizes. I should talk about our prizes. So what we do is we partner with these great outdoor retailers, folks like REI, Patagonia, Keen Footwear, Jackson Kayak, and they donate wonderful prizes for our competitors. So there really is something for everybody. There are fundraising prizes, there are team prizes, there's, best selfie is a prize, most miles hiked, which there is some good competition out there. And then to keep it going, we also have pop-up prizes. So maybe we'll say, this weekend, whoever kayaks the most will win a Yeti cooler or something along those lines. So we couldn't do this event without our sponsors. We could not do this without our prize partners and those organizations that see the value in what we do and donate either cash or prizes so we can get everyone outside competing.
Absolutely love that. And we can do all of this online, correct?
Exactly. You can go anywhere in the world. Last year we had a team that was actually on vacation in the Tetons for a couple of weeks. So they were hiking out there, logging their miles, and came back, and they didn't win, but I got to watch them. It was pretty fun.
Well, Alice, thank you again so much for your time, for sharing this with us. And again, one more time, how can we, as just people here in Tennessee, best help the work that you're doing?
Well, of course, I want everyone to sign up for the Hike-A-Thon. Even if you don't really want to be a great fundraiser or spend your time doing that, come and challenge yourself to get outside. Again, the more folks we can get outside, the more people who are going to care about nature and care about not polluting and care about our water and our air and our trees and the lungs of everything we have. And then our website is www.tenngreen.org. If you go there, there's a Hike-A-Thon button right at the top with all the details, registration, how you log your miles, what all the prizes and the prize categories are. And then finally, we're on the socials. Follow us at TennGreen LC, TennGreen LC. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're even on Reddit, which is kind of strange. So we'd just love to have more people engage with our mission.
Fantastic. Alice Hudson Pell, we appreciate your time. Thank you for all of this information, and I look forward to hiking with you next month.
Fantastic. Great. Well, thank you so much.
Anytime. Have a great day.
Great. Thank you.
Stick here with Mornings on Main Street. We have more coming up for you after this.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Welcome back. This morning, we're on the topic of brain health and why it's so important to gain the proper knowledge to know more about brain health. And to tell us all about this and share some information with us this morning, we have Dr. Erin Taylor from the Tennessee Center of Integrated Medicine. First off, Dr. Taylor, thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So your clinic is hosting a brain seminar or brain health seminar. Though this particular seminar is full, what is some of that information coming out that people will be taking home with them?
Yeah, so we do regular seminars once or twice a month, educating on various different topics. This one happens to be brain health. And yes, this week is full, but we will have others. So some of the things they come away with is really more of just how your health in total is an aspect of so many different things. And sadly, in most of Western medicine, we have lots of medications and surgeries. And don't get me wrong, those absolutely have their place, but we're also the sickest country, and we spend a lot of money on a lot of things that aren't getting us very healthy. So we come out as in our presentations, and we talk about what are the root causes of health problems, and what we call the pillars of health to help us to build that healthy body, healthy mind, healthy everything. Our pillars of health are nutrition and detox, exercise, our nervous system or our brain, and that kind of stuff as well, and hormones.
So when you talk about this, you're touching on the pillars. What sort of tips are you giving, and what information will people take away that they can, I guess, utilize in their daily lives?
So there's always little tips and tricks that we say, and we always talk about how to educate and empower people that they have control of their health. So maybe it's just the thoughts that, wow, when I came away from here, I didn't even realize that what my nutrition was doing was maybe impacting why I don't have the energy that I'd like to have, or I didn't think about why my anxiety was related to my irritable bowel syndrome, different things like that. But more than knowledge, it's really a fraction of all these things are important. We've got the internet, we've got an abundance of knowledge on things, but it's really okay. Are you moving from I'm interested in this, and this is cool information, and that's all great, but are you really going to do something about it? Are you committed to changing your life with it? So,
this had to have a starting point, and we were talking a little bit before we got started. Can you share with us why your office, your clinic, began hosting this particular type of seminar?
Yeah, sure. So we started several years ago, and it's always been our mission to just help people change their lives without the use of drugs and surgery. And again, not that there's not a time and a place for those, but that's just not what we do in our clinic. And so we were doing things like stress hormones and health and, things on heart disease, that kind of, other health things. But about a year ago, a provider in our clinic named Michael took his own life. And the next day at church, one of his patients came up to me and asked what happened. And I was surprised by the question. I really didn't know how to answer. And it just felt so heavy that I struggled. And I remember what I said to the lady at the time, but I knew that my answer was hiding the truth. And so I didn't sleep well that night. And I really was hoping that I'd see her again the next day at another church event. And I said that, in my head, I was like, I have to tell her what actually happened. Had he died in a car accident or a heart attack or something along those lines, it felt like that would have been easier to say than the heaviness that was the truth that he took his own life. And so we started doing brain health seminars to educate people on brain health, on how we have a modality called neurofeedback, and how through neurofeedback we can change the way that our brain waves are functioning, which can in turn change the way our emotions are being felt and processed. So it started out as a tragic story, and is still tragic, and we miss so much, but I'm hoping that we can bring some good out of it, and we have, and there's been several people whose lives have been changed through coming through our programs and doing neurofeedback.
So happy to hear that, and this information incredibly helpful. Where can we follow the other seminars that you host and other brain health seminars that Tennessee Center of Integrated Medicine puts on? Usually on Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. Our advertisements will pop up. We do have a website, tim.com, and then you're always welcome to call the clinic. The clinic is via phone is probably the best way to know the upcoming dates of seminars, both stress hormones and health and brain health. So, and our phone number is 931-919-3833. Dr. Taylor, again, thank you so much for your time, for this information, and I look forward to catching up with you in the future again. Dr. Erin Taylor with Tennessee Center of Integrated Medicine, thank you again. Thank you. Anytime. Stick with us here. We have more coming up right after this.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to get outside and do a little hiking. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic Wednesday.